In this video, we're going to talk about alcohol and weight loss. I've provided a chart that goes over all the information that I'm going to talk about in this video. So I'll have that for you so that you can always see it. But in the video, we're going to go over these points and explain them a little bit more, just so you have an understanding of what really happens when you drink alcohol and how it could be detrimental to weight loss and what to do to combat that if you're going to have a night out, if you're going to go to a party, a social event, a date, because it happens to everyone. Myself, I don't mind enjoying a drink or two if I'm going out with friends, stuff like that. So we're going to go over what happens when alcohol enters the body and the best ones to consume if you're going to have them, okay? First point I want to talk about is that alcohol contains ethanol. Ethanol is toxic to the body. It's toxic to the liver. That's something that's pretty standard. We all know that ethanol could be detrimental to the body, especially if you have it in excess, okay? A lot of the times you hear alcoholics have, 4 to 6 drinks every day. Usually what happens is there's damage to the liver, such as cirrhosis, damage to the enzymes, which can be detrimental to your health, okay? One thing about alcohol and ethanol is that it does not spike your insulin. We're going to talk about insulin. I have a video on insulin, but basically insulin is that anabolic hormone that makes things grow. It could lead to fat accumulation. It could lead to muscle growth, depending on how you use it or how many times that you release it in your body, okay? Because insulin, again, is the driver of nutrients into the cell, into your muscle cells, and it could even, that response, that insulin response could send sugars and carbohydrates and stuff like that into fat stores if eaten too much, okay? So insulin is that growth hormone, but it doesn't spike insulin, okay? It's 0 on the glycemic index. So that, might mean, or you might think, oh, well, it could be healthy then if it doesn't spike your insulin, right? Well, no. The reason being is because alcohol and ethanol blocks fat burning, okay? So when you have 2, 3, 4 drinks, okay, you have all this ethanol in your body's trying to get rid of it. It enters the bloodstream, it goes through the liver, it secreted, some of it through stool or urine or sweat and stuff like that. But your body is going to get out of fat burning mode, which comes from the nutrition that we're going to have. It gets kicked out of fat burning and goes right to metabolizing the alcohol. Depending on how much alcohol you drink, this could take 24 or 48 hours for your body to fight this off, which is, if you feel that hangover the next day, it's still in your system, right? So it all depends on how much you drink, but then your body has to get back into fat burning, okay? Most alcohols also have carbohydrates. So I talked about insulin just a few moments ago. Well, if the alcohol has carbohydrates, like heavier beers, sugary drinks, stuff like that, well, now your body first has to process that alcohol, and then it has to process the sugars that you consumed on that night. So you have almost like a double whammy effect, okay? So your body has to get through the alcohol, it has to get through the carbohydrates to get into fat burning, if you're following, right? So by now you're probably thinking, oh, well, I must not be able to have a drink, right? If I want to lose fat. Well, that's not necessarily the case, okay? Before I get into how you can do it, I want to let you know that despite what you do hear out there about, drinks being, healthy for you, there's not many benefits of drinking alcohol. Alcohol actually causes oxidative stress within the body. So when they say, well, it's okay to have 2 to 3 drinks for a male, well, it is okay sometimes, because it gives your body that stressor, and then you fight it off. That could be why people live a long time. It could make you a little bit stronger inside, but you cannot overdo it. Those people probably, those people that live a long time, you hear they have, they swore by, a little bit of vodka or a little bit of gin, which, that might be the reason for, okay, they're not overdoing it, right? So how do we drink on a night out, a date, a party, with friends, family, events, stuff like that? How can we have drinks and make sure we're not kicked out of fat burning for so long, okay? All the work that we've done, within the program, stuff like that. How can we combat that and, move forward? Well, the best thing to do would be to have hard liquors, okay? So the vodkas, the more distilled, the better. It's almost like pure, right? Gins, rum, scotch, whiskey, stuff like that, okay? Not with the added sugars. If you do have a sugary drink, you want to limit those maybe to one, and then get back to maybe like a vodka soda, a gin tonic could be okay. Things like that. So you want to stay away from the sugary mixed drinks. The more sugar, just think, the more sugar, the more carbs in there, the harder it is to lose fat. Not to say that having one of those is going to, ruin all the progress, because you're going to be eating differently and changing the way that you're behaving in terms of exercise and stuff like that, but we want to limit those as much as possible to see the best results. Secondly, beers, okay? Beers are huge. There's those Rickards Reds, heavy lagers, Bud Light, all those stuff. Well, Bud Light is, I'll get to Bud Light in a second, but Budweiser, stuff like that, the heavier beers. So what do you want to do? You want to go for one or two of the lighter beers, like Bud Light, like Michelob Ultra Light, okay? Because they have less carbs, less your body has to deal with to get back into fat burning, okay? So that's fine, all right? We're all human. We're going to go out and have drinks, like I said. So this is the best way to go about it, okay? To limit the sugars, limit the carbs, stuff like that. You have to be aware that alcohol has calories in it like anything, okay? So if you're having 4 to 6 beers, well, you're probably having 600 calories, and that's of alcohol, right? So you have to take calories into effect as well, okay? I would almost say go out and enjoy the drink that you have. Don't overdo it. You'll be able to lose fat, okay? It's not the end of the world. It'll be fine. In terms of how much to drink? Well, on a weekly basis, I would say 2 or 3 is fine. If you're somebody that likes to drink daily, have, a casual, well, look at what you're going to be having. Don't have too many mixed drinks, right? Maybe have a scotch or a light beer, something like that. It's not going to do much to you, again, especially because we're changing our behaviors throughout the course, right? So this is a summary and overview of alcohol. Can you have it and still lose fat? Yes. Okay. Absolutely. What we're going to do in the course is, plan ahead and make sure that we're on top of it, so, we can continue to make progress and not just, fall off the wagon, right? So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.